Hello, so this is self-esteem and how to improve it. Self-esteem is how you feel about yourself or the opinion you have about yourself. Everyone has times when they feel a bit low or find it hard to believe in themselves. However, if this becomes a long-term situation, this can lead to problems including mental health issues such as depression or anxiety. Some of the symptoms of low self-esteem can almost be a sign of these problems. Self-esteem is often a result of a lifetime of experiences, and particularly what happened to us as children. However, it is possible to improve your self-esteem at any age. Self-esteem check-in. Take a moment to think about yourself. How do you feel about yourself? How do you see yourself? And how would you just honestly describe yourself as to another person? Are these negative? Are these thoughts positive or negative? Understanding self-esteem. Some people think of self-esteem as their inner voice, the voice that tells you whether you are good enough to do something or achieve something. Self-esteem is actually about how we value ourselves and our perceptions, about who we are and what we are capable of. People with good self-esteem generally feel positive about themselves and about life. This makes them much more resilient and better able to cope with life's ups and downs. Those with poor self-esteem, however, are often much more critical of themselves. They find it harder to bounce back from challenges and setbacks. This may lead them to avoid difficult situations that can, however, actually decrease their self-esteem still further because they feel even worse about themselves as a result. A lack of self-esteem can therefore influence how people behave, not to mention what they achieve in their lives. Improving your self-esteem. There are a number of ways in which you can improve your self-esteem. So first, identify and challenge your negative beliefs. The first step is to identify and then challenge your negative beliefs about yourself. Notice your thoughts about yourself. For example, you might find yourself thinking, I'm not clever enough to do that, or I have no friends. When you do, look for evidence that contradicts those statements. Write down both statements and evidence and keep looking back at it to remind yourself that your negative beliefs about yourself are not true. Identify the positive about yourself. It's also a good idea to write down positive things about yourself, such as being a good at sport or nice things that people said about you. When you start to feel low, look back at this and remind yourself that there is plenty about good about you. In general, positive internal dialogue is a big part of improving your self-esteem. If you catch yourself saying things like, I'm not good enough or I'm a failure, you can start to turn things around by saying, I can beat this and I can become more confident by viewing myself in a more positive way. To begin with, you will catch yourself falling back into old negative habits, but with regular effort, you can start to feel more positive and build your self-esteem as well. Build positive relationships and avoid negative ones. You will probably find that there are certain people in certain relationships that make you feel better than others. If there are people who make you feel bad about yourself, try to avoid them. Build relationships with people who make you feel good about yourself and avoid the relationships that drag you down. So give yourself a break. You don't have to be perfect every hour of every day. You don't even have to feel good about yourself all the time. Self-esteem varies from situation to situation, from day to day, and hour to hour. Some people feel relaxed and positive with friends and colleagues, but uneasy with strangers. Others may feel totally in command of themselves at work, but struggle socially, or vice versa. Give yourself a break. We all have times when we feel a bit down or find it harder to maintain our self-belief. The key is not to be hard on yourself, but kind to yourself and not too critical. Avoid criticizing others to avoid criticizing yourself to others because this can reinforce your negative views and also give other people a possibly false negative opinion of you. You can help to boost your self-esteem by giving yourself a treat whenever you succeed in doing something hard or just for managing a particularly bad day. Become more assertive and learn to say no. People with low self esteem often find it hard to stand up for themselves or say no to others. This means that they may become overburdened at home or at work because they do not like to refuse anyone anything. However, this can increase stress and make it even harder to manage. Developing your assertiveness can therefore help to improve your self esteem. Sometimes acting as if you believe in yourself can actually help to increase self belief. Improve your physical health. It is easier to feel good about yourself when you are fit and healthy. Um, However, people with low self esteem often neglect themselves because they do not feel that they deserve to be looked after. Try taking more exercise, eating well, and getting enough sleep. It's also a good idea to make time to relax and do something that you want to do rather than something that someone else expects you to do. You may find that simple changes like this can make a huge difference to your overall outlook. 7, take on challenges. People with low self esteem often avoid challenging and difficult situations. One way to improve your self esteem could actually be to take on a challenge. This doesn't mean that you need to do everything yourself. Part of the challenge might be to seek help when you need it. But be prepared to try something that you know will be definitely difficult to achieve. By succeeding, you can show yourself that you can achieve. And then this last one is the importance of small steps. It's very unlikely that you will go from poor to good self esteem overnight. Instead, you will probably find yourself making small improvements over a period of time. The key is to look over the long term rather than the day to day and focus on the big picture, not the detail of how you felt at a particular moment yesterday. When you feel good or you do something good, celebrate it and don't beat yourself up if you occasionally slip back into negative patterns of thinking. Just pick yourself up again and try to think more positively. Eventually, this will become a habit, and you will find that your self esteem has got better.